Hey everyone, Chris Hansen here of Hansen vs. Predators and Can't Your Predator. Why don't you have a seat right over there and listen to Kyle and Brandon, our podcast. According to my chat logs, Kyle and Brandon have interesting guests.
No, I hated it.
Yeah.
Everybody's sweaty, everybody's on drugs, so they're super sweaty but also touchy, and then they touch your face, then you leave there, and the next day you have pimples.
Fantastic conversation.
He's underground in a lab, floating in a tank of water because he almost died.
And most important, no predators.
Here at Intoxicated Reviews, we intellectually dissect the art of cinema, scene by scene. Here's some clips.
All he is, it's just a fucking big wooden doll full of cum, chasing kids around.
You look up guys who poop in a bag. 'Cause I think that's where you'll find him. Because he is hurt.
It's probably just in your search history anyway, isn't it?
This movie fucking blows.
So don't forget to subscribe to Intoxicated Reviews on all places you find podcasts. Except Spotify. We're working on it.
Boys Club. Is it called Boys Club because my apartment looks like a boy lives in it?
I wouldn't say a boy lives in it. I would say a boy is kidnapped somewhere in here.
Boys Club.
We're everything. We're true crime. We're World Star Hip Hop.
We're World Star Hip Hop. We're Netflix reviews.
Stories of the day.
Boys Club.
Listen.
Yeah, do it. We're on iTunes. We're on Spotify. I think. No, we're not. And on Google Play. Nobody gives a shit.
Boys Club.
Boys Club Podcast. Now with 90% more sound clips of black people.
Boys Club.
Touch me, and I'll sue.
Do not take product if you are hypersensitive.
Oh, hey, Internet, and welcome back to the Intoxicated Podcast. I'm your host, Sarah McClellan, and if you're brand new to the show, this is a comedy variety podcast where I talk to friends, comedians, and various guests, usually over a drink or two, about life. This week is not a drinking episode. In fact, this is a sober one, but I love doing the sober episodes because your girl drank a lot on New Year's Eve, spent way too much money, and booze is like drinking is becoming so normal to me that when I don't have to drink, it's actually like a lot of fun for me. That is, I know, like literally the lamest statement that someone with a quote unquote drinking podcast could ever say, but I actually really do mean that. I'm trying to get healthier. Drinking certainly doesn't help with that, but I digress. A lot of the times a drink or two is involved. This week's guest doesn't drink, and I said, fuck it, I'm not going to drink either. Why should I feel the need to have a drink when I could save it for when I really want to get drunk? You know what I mean? I think I might be a binge drinker. But anyways, you guys, I'm so excited for you to hear this week's episode. This week, I have a returning guest on the show, comedian Matt Baker, who was actually on the podcast before with his comedy pal, partner in crime, Andrew Verge. That was a great episode, so make sure to check that one out. But he's flying solo this time, and I got to know Matt a bit better in this one. We really just got right into it. We talked a lot about various aspects of life, including single life, staying positive when negative things happen to you, and how that really works, and especially with the comedy lifestyle, where you do need to be committed in the sense that you're always doing things where you might not be getting paid. So you're really committing yourself to the grind, and that's what Matt does. He truly is one of those people that just loves comedy so much and is willing to put the work in, and he has a lot of really good insight. This was a super fucking fun episode. You know what I like about this episode, and Matt in particular? He's one of those guests that comes off a little guarded at first, but once you get to know him, he will gradually open up and let you know some tidbits about him that you might not know otherwise. So that's what I love about guests like that. I find that I either get guests like him or I get guests that are just like, I'm an open book and here's everything about me. Both are really, really fun to have. We can't have any cagey bitches on this show. So please follow Matt Baker. If you're in the Halifax area, he is on a lot of shows, various open mics around the city. So follow him on Instagram. That is comedian Matt Baker. So it's at comedian_Matt_Baker. Obviously follow Intoxicated. That's Facebook and Instagram at Intoxicated Podcast. On Twitter at @in_toxicated. You can follow myself on social media. That is at Sarah MACL. and on Twitter at Sarah McClellan, and links below to all of that. I'm going to try to tone it the fuck down on all my call to actions. All I got to say is that if you're digging the show, make sure you are subscribed to Intoxicated, you follow on social media, a rating or review always helps as well. You can email your questions, comments, or feedback to intoxicatedpodcast@gmail.com. Anything, guys, email me. Anything you want. Life questions, advice questions, anything. Like, literally anything. Well, actually, not anything, but you know what I mean. Anyways, shut up, Sarah. Get to the episode. You guys are going to love this one. Please enjoy this episode with Matt Baker.
I'm lonely.
Because that could go on my gravestone as well.
Yeah. You can be surrounded by friends and still be lonely. That's the moral of today.
Isn't it so? That's so crazy.
It's insane. But it's also, it makes you think, that's for sure.
Doesn't it? I know.
Makes you think. But
yeah.
it's good. It's good.
Well, a lot of people say, like, I always see quotes that are like, it's better to be alone and lonely than lonely with someone. And I disagree.
I mean,
I disagree with that quote.
For sure.
I have a real issue with that quote because you're still getting slightly more than the person who's totally alone.
Yeah.
Because you're probably getting
unless
level
the person that you're with when you feel alone is like a real piece of shit.
Oh yeah, if you're totally
in which
unhappy,
case it's a loss.
Yeah, if you're totally unhappy, that's fine, or that's not good. Get out of it. But
if you're unhappy, it's fine. But if you're lonely, do something about it.
But I guess I just mean, like, if I was with someone and things weren't totally great, but I still like went to bed with them every night.
Yeah.
You still get that physical, you're getting your skin hunger met.
Oh yeah, that's like a
Skin
huge
hunger.
one. It's just like falling asleep.
Yeah.
I don't know why my Instagram keeps like sending me shit now. It knows that I'm in the gym, I guess, or something like that. But it sends me like gym stuff, and then it also sends me like weird stuff where it's like, you'll sleep better if you're cuddling someone and blah blah blah, and like hugging someone for 30 seconds increases this, and you're like, what are you fucking? First off, how do you know this? Second of all,
I don't know.
why do you know this?
Oh, the targeted ads and the things that you get targeted on social media are so like depressing and telling of who you are.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I get a lot of weighted blankets.
Weighted blankets? Currently my Facebook ads are older ladies looking for love.
Older ladies looking for love.
No, that's not true.
I was going to say, what have you been doing online that's been sending those to your way?
That's my go-to. That's I used to open with any chance there's a hot beach babe _696908 in the crowd tonight? And no one would say anything. I'm like, she said she would be here.
Aw, damn it.
And it was just like the idea of fucking meeting people online and just being like, yeah, I could be anything.
Online is...
It's a weird place. I did a Tinder experiment.
Did a Tinder experiment?
A Tinder experiment.
Tell me about the Tinder experiment.
I've been I've been in relationships my whole life. My whole life I've been in relationships, which is great. I like being with people. I like helping people. I like going through things with others. I don't take advice very well from others. Like if I'm in a relationship, they're like, you should do this. I'm like, yeah, but let me help you instead. And I like helping people, but I don't like receiving, help in a sense, right?
Interesting. We're going to put a pin in that. We're going to get back to that later.
Yeah. But so as soon as I moved out here, I was just like, fuck. I was single and not even looking for anything. But I've never been on Tinder. And anytime I move somewhere and I feel weird, I need to do something to help right. Like I need to be
make you feel less weird.
Less weird, or to like be smart and start working on stuff. So I'd never really been on Tinder like ever.
Yeah.
So I downloaded Tinder just to see what was going on with it. And I just posted like 4 or 5 photos. And I think my bio was like, no Frozen 2 spoilers, please. That's what it said.
I love it.
That's what my bio said.
That's great.
And it was just like random photos of me, no selfies because I don't have them and I don't think that's a good thing. And then just like me, one of them was like me in the woods fishing, and then one of them was this. But I specifically made certain that there was no comedy photos.
Good.
Because I didn't want that.
I always wonder that with comedians.
I didn't want that to be a thing. And then I had Tinder for a bit, and I like downloaded it, deleted it, because I don't like it. I don't like the idea.
Well, that's everyone's relationship with it. No one ever stays away completely.
Yeah.
You'll always go back at some point.
It's just for me. I look at it just to see what kind of weird shit people say, because it's fucking hilarious. And,
it really is.
So I think I got like 40 people that were interested in me over like 5 days.
40 likes?
40
That's
likes.
really good.
40 likes. And so I had that. I was like, it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like done with it. I was like, I don't even fucking care. So I deleted it. I didn't even talk to anyone, I don't think. And then I was like, well, I was talking to a guy up at Hell's Basement, and he was talking about how he met someone on Tinder, because he talks about comedy on Tinder, and he talks about like, oh yeah, sometimes I'll like mention that I'm at a show, you should come watch me or something like that if you want to hang out. And so I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I was talking to my buddy. I was like, all right, I'm gonna redo Tinder, and I'm gonna do only comedy. I'm gonna do 4 photos, or 3 or 4 photos, and 3 of the 4 are me doing comedy, and then one of them's just like a photo of me and Andrew and my buddy Jordan, and that we took on the comedy tour. And then in my bio, I just wrote, I tell jokes sometimes.
I like that.
And I think it's like been like maybe 4 days, and I have just under 100 likes.
Jesus Christ! See this is fucking male comedians, man.
No, but like I'm not happy about it though.
Why?
Because
how is that not validating?
It's not validating to me, because they're like, oh, I don't care how you look, I just care if you're funny. But then at the same time, it's like that's kind of nice.
Well, that's a double-edged sword.
It's kind of nice because they're like, oh, but at the same time, like you have no idea if I'm just a comic who's like, fuck women, you're trash. Like, it's just, you have no idea. You're just like, oh, he's a comic. I bet I like him because he's funny. It's like, you have no, I could be the biggest racist piece of shit on the planet of the earth when I'm telling jokes, and you would just be like, oh, he's nice.
Well, also, I think here's the thing. I think a lot of women like funny men. Not all women understand I'm not going to say baggage, but the nuances that come with like dating someone who does comedy.
Yeah.
There's lifestyle things in there. There's a lot going on with that that you have to accept and be okay with. And maybe not all women realize that, but they just go, oh, he's funny, so let swipe right.
He must want to talk to me all the time. It's like, no, I don't like talking to anyone, actually.
Well, that's the thing, too. Once you're done being funny on stage, you probably just want to fuck off
That's
for a bit.
it, forever.
Because you've done it all
day.
Well,
I dated a comic, and that, like, I'd say the only benefit to that, like, I mean, she was fucking awesome. She was hilarious. Funniest, seriously, if anyone deserves a comedy special from Canada, she needs a shot. She's fucking awesome.
Oh, damn.
And we, like, just things didn't work out. Comedy wasn't the same. Anyways, the one benefit was we both did comedy. So we were both like riding the highs and lows of it. We both understood that like at nighttime you go to the bar to do jokes, right? There's no other like things going on.
Right. You speak the same language.
Yeah, exactly. You understand the routine. Whereas I then saw someone else for a bit, and they were like, oh, like, how is this and this and that and that? And then I was like, I explained to them at some point, I was like, when you do great, it's awesome. But I was like, the next morning, it's all gone. It's all gone. It's like the best high, and then the next morning you feel lower than all lows for some reason, because you have like such a huge rush.
And then it's gone.
And then like, it's insane.
I have so much to say about that. First, I'm going to introduce you.
Oh, that's my friend Valina that I was talking about.
Is she calling you?
She's just calling me there.
Oh, we should get her on.
Yeah, I should put her on now.
That'd be funny.
But
we're here with Matt Baker.
Hey.
And I look like a freaking ghost. I don't know how to make myself look less pale.
I have a mark on my face because I tried to move a treadmill today and it fell on my face.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's what happens when you try and move treadmills by yourself.
That
so now it kind of just looks like I had a unibrow and I tried to shave the unibrow and scrape my face.
You don't look as washed out. Look how washed out I look.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know.
I look flushy. That's what I look like. I look flushed.
I don't know what that is, but we'll have to deal with it and roll on forward. But it's Matt Baker.
Hey.
You've done an episode with your friend Andrew Verge.
Yep, that was so fun.
And now you're back for your solo episode, which means I get to dive deep into your psyche and extract information more in more detail than a buddy episode. The buddy episodes are really fun.
Yeah, buddy episode was super fun.
But the solo ones are a little more like, let's get into the nitty gritty.
The nitty gritty faux shitty. No, it's probably not going to be great. No. I mean,
listened to your episode with Brandon and Kyle.
Oh yeah, that was so fun. Those guys are fucking
You're making the
great.
podcast rounds.
Yeah, I'm doing my works. Hopefully, I'll do all the podcasts, all the shows, and die by I'm 30. It's the bank. So
wait, how old are you?
I'm 29 now.
Oh my god, you have a whole year.
Yeah. 2020 is the year.
We have a whole year to make your dreams come true before you leave this world.
Yeah, I'm gonna do every other podcast I can, and then that's it. That'll be that. I'm not gonna kill myself. I took a Facebook quiz when I was 17, and it said I was gonna die at 30.
What? Like, what was the Facebook quiz? Like,
it
when
said
will
Mark
you die?
Zuckerberg will find you and kill you. No.
I mean, I wouldn't be
No,
shocked.
it was like one of those random quizzes where like, find out how you die. And you're just like, okay. And it's like, what's your name? And you're like, and it's like, what's your favorite color? And you're like, and it's like, what do you like to do? And you're like, and it's like, boop, you're going to die by a car accident at 29.
Wow.
You're just like, okay, this seems weird.
Holy
just like
shit.
one of those random ones.
Do you remember like when quizzes were the thing to do?
Yeah.
Like there was a period of time with Facebook where it was just like constant. It was like you would do multiple a day.
Yeah.
And you would share multiple a day.
For sure.
It was like
I never got
too
too into them when I was younger on Facebook just because, I don't know, I never did Facebook too hard.
Yeah.
But I have a couple jokes about them for sure because
With the Facebook quizzes?
Because I think they're hilarious.
Well, I did a depression quiz recently.
Oh.
So I went on Psychology Today.
Oh, jeez.
And
I've
was
never been to that website.
over 100 questions. And I answered honestly.
That's good.
And while I was answering them, I was going, there's no way I'm going to get anything other than you're depressed as fuck and maybe get help. But they did have like questions about suicide in there. And I know that I'm not.
Yeah.
But all my other answers were like, yep. And then my result was like, you're mildly depressed. And I was like, bitch, fuck off. Like, there's no way I'm just mildly
You're angry
depressed.
at the amount of depression. You're like, whoa. I'll have you know, it is more than mild. All right?
I'm at least medium.
I'm the Chipotle of depression. All right?
I'm the jalapeno.
I'm between mild and hot. I have Chipotle depression.
I was pissed because it was like, and I've talked to friends who are like medicated for depression, and they all are like, you got to tell them that you're going to kill yourself or else they won't give you drugs.
Which is, I don't know if that's the way to go about things, though, at the same time. Because whatever drugs they give you are going to fuck with your mind. Like, people tell you to get, like, antidepressants and shit like that. That's not, if you don't have to take them, don't take them.
And I would totally agree with you. Like, I've gone through, like, a lot of spouts of it.
Yeah.
And I've never been medicated, and I've always managed to deal. My ability to deal lately has been getting worse. Mm-hmm. So I often wonder, like, would medication just help me on a day-to-day basis of, like, maybe it's lower dosage or maybe it's a certain, because there's so many different drugs out there.
Oh, yeah.
And there's some people who would agree with you and say, like this took away who I was and made me, like, a flatline person. And I don't want that.
No.
I like the fact that I can be kind of manic sometimes.
Yeah, no, it's good to have this.
It's good to have some
that.
some
you
up and
have
down.
to, because you appreciate this more when you're down here and vice versa.
Oh, that's true.
But, like, if you're just the whole time, then you're like, yeah, whatever. It's not.
Like, if you just don't care about life at all. You're just indifferent.
Or you're just like,
everything.
like, I don't hate my life, but I'm not in love with my life. So then it's like, where's the fun in that, right? And sometimes you're going to be like, whew, this is the best I've ever been. And then other times you're like, tomorrow I could not wake up, and that would be cool.
So that's interesting, like what you said about the highs and the lows, and how sometimes it's like the next day you feel the low.
Oh, yeah.
Like when you've had a really high. I had that happen to me recently, and I'm not going to say what it was, but it was an interesting night. And then the next day I had a day-long breakdown.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and I'm not even over exaggerating. I didn't leave the bed until about 5 p.m.
Yeah.
And I was like, and that's happened to me too, like after, like I've done live streams of the podcast where it's like 15-hour live stream, so much fun, excitement for 15, and then it's like a big crash.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know how you fucking deal with this? Like, it's so strange. Like, I had fun. Why am I so sad?
The ups and downs of it all.
Like, that makes no, like, is it just because you don't have the high anymore that you're like, will I ever be that high again?
Yeah, maybe. It's like chasing the white dragon or whatever drug addicts say.
Oh, is that what they say?
I don't know. I could play a drug addict on a show probably, but not with
Which
that.
is funny because you don't do drugs at all.
No, I don't dabble. I avoid.
Yeah.
But I think when you get into like a rhythm of like doing shows and hitting those highs and then having like these awesome experiences, and then you like get overwhelmed with how great it is, and then it's the next morning you don't have that at all, right? So then you're just like, fuck, you feel like drained. I liken it to like almost being dehydrated. You know what I mean?
Ooh,
where you're just like, fuck, I feel like I'm thirsty, but then you're like dehydrated to the point where like even drinking one glass of water is not going to help. So then you're like, oh,
nothing will
fuck,
quench it.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, that's actually like a really good and I hear that it happens a lot with weddings.
Oh yeah?
So like a bride will put so much into her wedding, and it's like the day that you dream of like all your life, and you put so much, you plan this thing for a year, and then it's very common to get post-wedding depression because you've like that was your pinnacle of what you looked forward to, and now it's over.
It's like when Bilbo came back from the Ring.
Yes.
The Ring journey.
Well, I got it.
Whatever.
What do I do now?
What movie was that? Lord of the
I
Ring
love
reference.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
So much.
But it, like you have this huge thing where so much is riding on it, and you know, Frodo. Sorry, when Frodo comes back from the Ring thing, I watched The Hobbit like 2 weeks ago, so that's why Frodo was in my thing.
Oh, I love it.
But it's like you have this huge epic journey, you have this huge epic experience that so much has been working towards.
Yeah.
And then once it's done, you're like, what the fuck do I do with my life?
Like, what next?
What is it? And I think that happens to everyone. Like I watched, have you seen Free Solo with Alex Honnold?
I have not.
So he's the guy that free soloed rock climbing, El Capitan. No ropes, no nothing.
Holy shit.
3,000 feet of climbing, no ropes. Like fucking hard climbing. And then he was talking about like, oh, well, now I don't know what to do because I've done it already. So he's like, I don't know what my next step is. And then you go into a bit of a like, will I ever beat what I just did? What's the point in trying? How can I be that?
Is there a point?
Yeah.
And that actually ties nicely into my next question for you, which is this is early January. You're the first podcast of 2020! Did you have a good New Year's Eve?
I had a fucking solid New Year's Eve.
Yeah, I did too.
I went to Hell's Basement, my favorite club in Canada.
I really need to go.
You do. You need to go. Next time I head up, you should tag along.
Let me know the next time.
I will. And I never say I don't like to be like, I had a great set or anything like that.
No comic does.
Because everything's opinion based. However, I will say it was by far, I'd say almost with 99% certainty, the most fun set I had of 2019.
Oh, that's amazing.
Like just a really great crowd. Just played off the crowd good. Worked on some new jokes. Everyone took to them.
I saw a short clip from that night.
Yep. Yeah, the
funny.
ender. Yeah, someone's phone rang, so I picked it up quick.
Yes!
It was good.
Yeah,
it was good. Yeah,
I love when
fun.
This is why you have people listening. This is why you got to go see live comedy.
Yeah.
Spontaneous little things like that happen.
Yeah.
And even if you go a lot, like I go a lot, there's still these spontaneous moments that can happen that make it magical.
Like you think going to see a magician live is cool? You got to realize that the magician has practiced that trick. He's made that dove disappear and reappear. Whereas like when a comic does crowd work, like that trick's never been done.
Never.
They don't even know.
It's literally in the moment.
They don't know if the dove's going to come back alive or not. So when you have good crowd work, it's like way better than any magic trick there could be because
100%.
No one knows if the lady's going to be put back together from after she's been sawed in half. So
I saw a comedian. Do you know Jared Campbell?
Yeah. Dude, he's great. So good.
He, like, when I saw him at Yuck Yucks, because he headlined Yuck Yucks somewhat recently.
Yeah, because he's doing his Straight White Fail tour.
Oh,
yeah. He just dropped an album.
Yeah. So good. I would say, and this isn't an insult to him at all, but probably 50% of his set was just talking to the crowd.
Yeah.
It was the hardest. I laughed. My stomach hurt from laughing so hard.
Yeah.
He was so good. And like the talent it takes to just be on the ball like that and like throw something out to a complete stranger and then you get a response and you just have things to roll with.
Yeah.
It's that's the skill right there.
There's some premeditation with everything crowd work, especially with guys at that level, because they know they've experienced it enough where they've seen it go wrong when you address the crowd. So when you're doing crowd work, you're like almost 2-3 steps ahead, because you're like, whatever they answer, if it's the answer I was looking for, I'm going left. If it's the answer I wasn't looking for, I'm going right.
Yes.
Or if it's so fucking weird, I can do a complete U-turn and just jump straight back into material.
Right.
So
there's all these.
That's why live comedy is the best. Go see it.
Go see it. Oh.
It's so much more fun when you get those experiences, because you see people work these. Like, do you know Andrew Scholes?
Yes. Yeah.
Him.
Yeah.
Great example.
Yeah.
Great example of a dude who's just like next level thinking.
And it's insane. Anyone, you can watch a Netflix special anytime, okay?
For sure.
Seeing it live is just another, it's another level.
But I find what it is too is, and this is an amazing reason to go see local comedy and support local comedy, is because when, say, Jim Gaffigan comes through, he's not going to be doing crowd work. He's doing his polished material because people want to see that.
Right.
And people who will like Jim Gaffigan, like I like him, But the older crowd, or the people who are kind of comedy fans, they go see Jim Gaffigan because they know Jim Gaffigan and they know this bit, that bit, fucking pizza pop bit, whatever it is.
Oh, yes, okay.
And so they want to see that, right? Whereas if you go to a local comedy show, there's going to be more fun. It's in a bar, right? It's not in a theater. So the intimacy with the crowd is so much more.
Bigger.
So it's there.
You feel like you're kind of part of it in a way.
Oh, yeah, you do.
But don't talk back. Don't talk back too much.
Yeah.
I gotta say that. You're part of it, but not too much.
At no point as an audience member should you ever feel like you're helping the show.
Oh, dear
Didn't
God.
you love it when I said that word? Didn't I was helping you there. I was setting you up. It's like, no, you weren't. You were being terrible.
Oh my God, there was a night recently at Snigley's that was so bad. There was
I heard about this
two
evening.
drunk guys. Well, I mean, there's a couple. I think there's been a couple nights recently with like kind of drunkies or like heckler situations. But this one night I went somewhat recently, there was like 2 drunk friends like sitting like right at the front, and they were so drunk, and so much of it was them just talking about how drunk they were. And I was just like, oh, move back or leave.
Yeah.
Like, don't sit at the front. Why would you sit at the front?
Yeah. Ruin it for everyone else.
And again, talking back to the comedians. It's not a conversation unless they actually ask you a question.
Yeah.
You can't just like respond to one of their jokes.
It's an interesting thing when you when you encounter people, because sometimes what it'll be is like you'll ask a question, and majority of people who come to comedy shows are too scared to initiate, right? They're too scared.
That's me.
But then
I'm
you
terrified.
get the other person, where it's like, oh, I tend to think of myself as a little bit of a comedian as well.
Oh, those are the worst ones.
So then they think that you can be like, how you doing tonight? You'll be like, had a bad day. I stepped in dog poop. You're like, I don't care. You're just supposed to say, woo, and then I'm going to get into my jokes.
Exactly.
But if you but that's why opening the floor to like crowd work is so fun, but it can go, if you don't have the reins on it, you don't know exactly where it is. You don't know how to, you have to ask a question in such a specific way that they can only answer in one way, or else it just goes off on a fucking rampant path about you hearing about like, oh, you can't say that.
Right.
Like it's insane. But like for you, because you've gone to so many shows and seen so much comedy, and this just a similar situation for me too, because I've watched so much comedy. Crowd work to me is like the end all be all. Like I love seeing crowd work.
I do too.
Because I know jokes already, and you know jokes because you've watched enough comedies where you've done the math on it, right?
Yep.
So if you're like me, you watch people and you try and beat them to the punchline in your own head, because I'm always just like, okay, how would I write this joke? Would I do the same thing they're doing? And I try and see if I can get to where they're going before they do, because I want to see where their head was at when they're writing the joke. Whereas an audience member, they're just like brain off.
They're just taking
I'm
it
not
in.
doing the math, right?
Yeah, they're not.
So
they're
that's
not,
why people love to go see like Jim Gaffigan and stuff like that, because it's great, because they don't need that stuff because they're not thinking about it. They're just waiting for it to be spoon fed. Whereas people who see comedy a lot, people who see comedy often, who are part of the comedy scene.
Yeah.
I mean, I speak for myself maybe, and maybe you can relate too. Is when I'm watching in a different perspective nowadays. So whenever I see crowd work, it always makes me laugh even more because I know like spontaneity of it, like the absolute tightrope that people walk with it.
It's great. I also saw over the break Chris Locke.
Yeah, I wanted to go see that show, but I was back up.
Again, same thing though. Holy shit.
Super funny.
I
heard it was a great show.
Amazing. I also hung out with him after, and he was such a nice guy. And it's so funny to me when you hang out after and you're like, wow, you're very different from how you are on stage. Like, not in a bad way at all. He's just really chill, nice guy. And definitely still funny off stage. But, like, when he was on stage, it was, like, electrifying. It's, like, the word I would use.
That's, like, that high, though, too. Like, you ride such a huge high on stage, and it can be super fun. And then after, you're just like, and then you're just, like, in a zone where you're, like, you're still funny because you're still riding a bit of that high. But I find after a show, if I'm ever talking to people, I'm, like, enjoy talking to people. But then at a certain point, I'm like, okay, I need to go home.
And that was the thing. He did 2 back-to-back shows. Like, he did a 7 p.m., like a 9:30 p.m. show. I'm like, just to have that energy to do a show, take a little break, and then do it all over again. Yeah. Like, that's insane to me. Like, just the amount of energy you'd have to do that.
Yeah, it takes a lot.
Mental energy. And physical, I guess.
Yeah, physical too, because when you're a comic, you have to deliver physically as well. Like, some comics can get away with it, like super deadpan delivery and not moving around a lot, but physical movement, like body language, is huge. Right?
I actually would totally agree because there's not many, like a lot of the comedy that I'm really drawn to is energetic.
Yeah.
People who walk around the stage. Like, if you see Eliza Schlesinger, she's moving around so much. She's getting down on all floors. She's like, and I fucking love that because I don't even think, like, if I were to do it, I don't think I'd be able to stand still. I would have to pace.
You have to, but and then it's what it is that vibrating energy through you.
Yeah.
And then people it's like contagious, right?
Yeah.
But I find if you stand still, it almost creates this sense of discomfort, and then if you're uncomfortable, then the audience members are going to be uncomfortable too.
Absolutely.
And that's not good. So
it doesn't make for good boomerangs.
No. Dude, I've
You're
made
a comedian?
so many boomerangs.
People taking boomerangs of you. You want to give them something that is a good boomerang.
I love a great boomerang. I'm all about, like, if I'm at a show, I'll take as many photos and boomerangs as comics as possible because it's like, at the end of the day, we should all promote each other. That's a huge thing.
Thank you.
We're all in this together. And at the same time, like, if someone who you know likes me, then they're going to find me if you took my photo. And if someone I know likes you, then they're going to find you through the photo I took of you. And that's how you bridge the gap. Like, there's no reason for anyone in this scene to be like, I don't want photos or I don't take photos or this or that. It's like photos and Instagram, social media, you can choose to have it a part of your life or not. But comedically, as a business, I think it's the wisest shit right now.
I 100% agree with you. And people listening who, like, don't like social media, I get it. It sucks sometimes, but this is part of the hustle if you want to be serious about comedy. Yeah. You need to be promoting yourself. You need to actually put pictures of you doing stand-up on your Instagram feed. You need to repost and fucking repost.
Repost is huge.
If people are doing it for you, that's half the work.
Yeah.
Hit the button.
Yeah. Repost a meme that you liked and then put it on your thing, and then people like what other people like.
Yeah.
You did nothing except repost it. You're not copying their shit. You're just like, this is something I liked. You might like it. And people are like, yeah, I do. And then that's it. That's all it took.
Yeah. It's a multifaceted thing. You shouldn't just be doing, you shouldn't just be going to the shows, doing it, and coming home. You should, I truly think comics should find other ways, other content creation ways to get themselves out there. Whether that's podcasting, doing sketch videos, like, I don't know, like helping with a sketch video. Like, I don't know. There's so many ways that you can get involved and get yourself out there.
Yeah.
And that is a form of hustle.
It's for sure.
That is a form of hustle.
When I originally had Instagram, I never used it for comedy, and then I deleted that Instagram, made an Instagram specifically for comedy.
Right.
Don't post anything but comedy and the odd photo here and there. But on my stories, I post everything, like just
exactly your life.
random everyday shit, and I try and make it funny. And when I first started posting stuff, I'd have like 10 people watch my stories, and now I have like 100 people watching my stories sometimes. And that's like, I'm not like 100 people, but like those interactions, you need it. You need the constant like, I'm here.
Absolutely.
Because if you're not constantly reminding them people that you exist, they'll find someone else. That's it. Like if you're not a source of entertainment, they'll find another source of entertainment.
Yeah.
And you should definitely try and be that source of entertainment if that's your goal. If you want to be a comic, you should try and be a comic, like even when you aren't on stage. And some people maybe don't like that, and some people maybe can't market themselves in that manner either, and that's fine. I'm not saying it's for everyone. However, I am saying that if you are thinking like, what's the next step? How can I get more people to come out to my shows? How can I get more people to like me? Stuff like that. Yeah. You just gotta be more present on social media.
You need to have that presence online. I hate that. Yeah. I hate that numbers matter like that, but they do.
They do. And also like, no one knows who you are until they see you.
Show them who you are.
And are they going to go to the club to see you? Maybe. But if they're on the toilet and they're going through Instagram and you paid for an ad specifically targeting people in Halifax, well, there's a chance that while they're on the toilet, they're going to see a video of you on YouTube, and then they're going to laugh and shit at the same time, and that always feels good. And they're going to be like, I'm going to like this photo, or I'm going to like this video. And that's all you need. You just need to keep fucking building that shit up.
And actually, Chris Locke, I didn't even really know much about him. And Kyle Carpenter was the one who said he's coming to Halifax and he's so good. And I was like, oh, sweet, I'll keep that in mind. And then the Showtime came around and I was like, do I go? Just based on like what people have told me. And I was like, no, I'm going to look at his Instagram feed. And he had like hilarious videos on there that actually made me decide I'm going to actually pay $15 to go. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it could make or break someone's decision to actually pay money to see you.
For sure. That's the society, the world we live in now. You think of like some people, it's not everyone, but like if I'm somewhere new and I want to go somewhere to get some food, I'm either going to ask you what you suggest, or I might go online and ask what Google suggests, right? And if I can't find information about a restaurant, I'm probably not going to that restaurant.
I'm probably just going to go
because as someone who's not in the best financial situation, I'm not going to risk spending $15 and then hating that food, when I can go spend $8 and totally love that
I know that you love it.
Right? So same with comedy. It's just like, I'm scared to spend $15 on the show and not enjoy myself. Whereas if I know that I can just Google the person or YouTube them or Instagram them and just like do 5 seconds of research and within a minute be like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, this person's funny.
Exactly.
Why not, right? I can get my friends. We're all going to go. I was going to spend $15 on drinks anyways. Why not just spend it on comedy and buy a drink while I'm there?
Exactly. So and if you go to find someone, there's nothing there, that's going to suck.
Yeah.
You got to have something there.
Find something.
And I mean,
any way you can.
Multiple Instagram accounts, that works too. Yep. Make sure you're plugging all your Instagram accounts on each one so that people know, oh, they have a, like, you know, Travis Lindsay has a food Instagram.
Yep.
He loves to cook. So you can actually go on there and see a whole other side of Travis.
Yeah. Which is great. It builds his character. It allows people to like him more, be related to him more. He's great. Phenomenal comic.
Love Travis.
Super nice guy. I just met him like a month ago in Mountain.
You were mentioning.
I didn't see him when I was down in town last time, so it was super cool.
Yeah.
Because he's such a genuinely nice dude, such a strong comic, an amazing storyteller type of comedy. Like, super good. And he's like one of those, like not Gaffigan like in the sense, but he's a cleaner comic.
Yeah.
And he's like a comic that your mom would be like, I would watch him again. I would watch him again. But at the same time, he's not like just what's the deal with airplane food kind of thing, right?
Not predictable.
He just weaves. I'm not trying to fucking suck him or
this is the
like
thing.
that, but
Travis is coming on again soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
I invited him to come back on to help promote his album, which everyone should go download.
Go check it out.
Listen, buy it. The kid is all right. Find it everywhere. I think my laugh is in it a couple times.
Nice.
Because I was front row for
Big
it.
claim to fame right there. Big claim to fame.
I'll never forget that though, because that was so cool to see. Like to be in the audience for like someone's taping
Live
is
taping.
very special.
Pretty unique.
Yeah. I don't know where I was going with this. Oh yeah, but a lot of the local comedians who come on this will always say the same thing about Travis.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a great dude.
So
there's a ton of strong comics in fucking Halifax.
Oh
It's
yeah,
insane.
you included now.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're back.
I'm getting there.
You're back.
I'm making my way up.
Let's catch everybody up. So you're back in Halifax.
I'm back in Halifax. Yeah, I was here a few months ago just on tour across Canada with Andrew.
Yeah.
The last episode, if you haven't watched it, check it out. It's a grand slam.
I love that episode.
It was a fun one. It was super cool. That was like the first podcast that we had done together on tour, so that was super unique. And then I stuck out here for a bit, worked on some shows, went back to Ontario, hung out with my folks, came back out here, did a little tour with a friend of mine on the East Coast, and then went back to Kelowna, BC, where my everything was. Was there for a few days, got my car stolen.
Can we talk about
Yeah,
this?
we can talk about it for sure.
What the fuck happened? I remember. Okay, well, number one, before you tell the story, because I want you to tell me everything.
Yeah.
I just want to say one thing. You're a very positive person.
Yeah.
Now,
hopefully.
this, and I don't know, and you're gonna tell me if the perception is reality.
Yeah.
But like the way that you came off on social media was like, hey guys, like my car got stolen. If you happen to see it, let me like. It was just so like a lot of people would take that moment and get so angry and so negative about it, but like you seemed very calm.
Yeah, I mean, like,
but like debunk the myth. What was really going through?
What
happened
sucked.
here?
I was doing two shows. First two shows back in Kelowna. I just got my car, just drove it down from the mountain where it sat idle. No one drove it for 5 months, and it was full of shit. Didn't get stolen. And then I drove it down to Kelowna. Wasn't even in Kelowna for 24 hours. I did two shows, and when I came out, it was gone. There was smashed glass on the ground. And
you were at a show and you came out.
It was a show, yeah. So I parked my car in the same spot. I've parked it for the last 4 years. Every time I do comedy at that venue, which is like 3 days a week, and never had any issues. Even when I was living in it and I had way more stuff in it, I parked my car there. And it just so happened that night someone was walking by, smashed it. Because I had just come down from the mountain and I was kind of just living out of my car. I was going to go stay at a friend's house that night. My spare set of keys was in my backpack that was in the back seat. So whoever got in my car smashed the back window, probably for the backpack, would have gone through the backpack, found the keys, also probably found the $1,500 cash that I had in there, and my passport, and my joke book, and a bunch of other stuff. And then drove away. The video is pretty crazy. They have like video footage of the people who stole it, and it's just like obviously probably someone who's homeless, and like his girlfriend or his flavor of the week. I don't know. He's probably a player. If he's going around stealing cars, he probably gets ladies. Girls love a gangster, right? And so yeah, they took it and called the cops. They did what they could, but there's not much. Couldn't get insurance or anything on it because I'm not a homeowner, and anything that's in the car is homeowner's insurance. And I just got the car insured for 3 days so I could get it down from the mountain to my friend's house. So I didn't have theft on it. So even though it got stolen, I wasn't going to get any money for it anyways.
So the car did get stolen, or did it just get broken into?
The car got stolen.
So you went out and it was gone?
Yeah.
And then you saw the video footage.
Yeah. So I went out, it was gone, talked to a bunch of friends. Then my one close friend, she was super kind and actually shared my story with the news, and they interviewed me.
Oh,
wow. And then one of the news ladies was like, oh, I'm going to go ask this place if they have security footage. And then they're like, oh, yeah, we'll give it to you. So they gave her the footage. So then they posted it online. And nothing really came of it. No one identified the people or anything like that.
Right.
But 3 days later, they found my car in like just near a rougher area of town. It was parked. Nothing was in it. Like absolutely everything's gone. I had my snowboard in there. It's like I did the math on it. It was probably $4,500 worth of materials, and then I had $1,500 cash because I'm a drug dealer. No, that's not true. Not true.
What was the initial reaction? Well, emotional. Like I want like and
it
don't
sucked. It
like
sucked.
were you angry?
It was like, but also like I try to be positive, and I'm also like, what am I gonna do? Right? Like it's gone. I can only call the cops. That's it. I can't, like, I'm not going to go find these people. Even if I wanted to, I don't know. What am I going to do when I find, like, I'm like, that's my car. And be like, we stole it. Like, you're not going to out intimidate someone who stole a vehicle. You know what I mean? They're not going to be like, oh, sorry. They stole your car. They're probably going to also stab you. So there's nothing I could do. I was super bummed.
Were you pissed? Like, did you kick a wall?
No.
Or anything like that?
When I was younger, I used to get so angry at stuff. I like punched drywall and shit like that. And so as I've gotten older, I've kind of just like tried to mellow out. And so I was like, sucks.
I just can't picture you pissed.
Yeah.
Like,
I try not to get too angry.
You're such an even keel guy that I kind of want to see it.
Yeah. If I stub my toe, I'll get pretty fucking angry.
I want to see you get real pissed.
Yeah.
They have this thing called Halifax Rage Room. And
someone was talking about that crazy.
I'm like, I feel like you would go in and just...
just smash the shit out of it. Yeah, a lot of pent up anger.
yeah. That I just can't. Something like that happening, I can't imagine.
Yeah, it sucked.
That is absolutely terrible.
It was what it was. I was beyond thankful for the community. Like my friends gave me some money.
That's good.
The guy that runs the show in Kelowna, Dave Kopp, runs Kelowna Comedy. He did a little bit of a fundraiser for me after one of the shows.
That's amazing.
People donated money. Like I got a couple bucks from people, and like one lady wrote me a check, and I still have it. I'm not cashing it. I refuse to. Like it's just like I don't want it. I don't want the handouts, right? But I do appreciate people giving. You know, it's super kind. So like when you go through something like that, I think it's totally different in a sense. Like it all depends on what your community's like. And I was lucky that like all the comics were like, stay at my place. I'll cook you food.
Right,
you can stay over
people,
here.
yeah.
Do you need money? Do you have clothes? Like what is it? Like my folks helped me out. My friends helped me out. The comedy scene helped me out. People who were on Castanet and the news, they were nice. I mean, there's the oddball that's like, what are you doing? You can't just leave stuff in your car. And you're like, what do you mean? Like I can't leave my belongings in my belongings? Like what are you're gonna get angry at me because I left my car in my garage and it got stolen?
Oh, if I had a car, there'd be so much shit in it.
Park your car in your house, or people are gonna break into your garage and take your car. That's just the way it is. So it's a weird society that people are like, oh yeah, you should know better than to leave your stuff in your stuff. You know?
Yeah.
It's like fuck you. Like if people knew the situation, I just landed. I'd literally been there for 2 days, and I was in the process of selling off everything I owned so I could leave.
Right.
And it's just like it was probably the cleanest my car has ever been, to be honest. And it only had like a couple of my jackets in the back and my backpack, and that was it. And then some stuff in the trunk, obviously, and then some stuff in the roof box. But visually, if they looked in, they would have only saw a few things.
Right. It's not like it's not like it was overflowing.
No. It's not like you'd be like, that's $1,000. That's $1,000.
Right.
It's just like it was what it was. So yeah, it got stolen. That sucked. But the community was a huge thing. Like that made a big difference. And then you just like I said, I couldn't do nothing about it.
You just rolled with it. Well, I mean, you make a good point, because I think a lot of people and if you do suffer from anxiety, you know that it's your brain is just like freaking out.
Yeah.
But telling yourself that there's nothing that can be done.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing that can be done. There is nothing that can be done.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about finances earlier, and like
money
for
talk.
me, I was just like, okay, well, I have $4,500 worth of shit in that car, $1,500 cash. The car itself I was going to sell, the roof box, all that stuff. And now all the stuff I was going to sell is gone. So I'm not going to make that money. That money's gone. The cold hard cash that I had in my bag, that money's gone.
Yeah.
And now when I go to sell my car, it's got a smashed window. And there's a set of keys that are out there that are missing. So like I only got one set of keys. And so like there's just stuff that like it went from being able to sell it for this to now being able to sell it for this. And so I lucked out. My buddy Scott Murata, hilarious comedian from the Okanagan and overall fucking amazing dude. He worked for Nissan, and I drove a Nissan. So he's like, I'll just help you out, man. We'll fix up the car. We'll do whatever we need to. And I was like, oh, man, he's a godsend. Great friend.
Yeah.
And in the long run, he ended up buying the car off me because I had to leave. And he's like, I'll give you some money for it. And so he bought the car off me, fixed it up, sold his brother, and he's a super nice dude. So it worked out. Everything worked out in the long run. I'm not like one of those quote people where like, what is it? The one where it's like, if it's not good in the end, it's not the end, or whatever, like that, or
something like
that bullshit. But
so
like,
many cliches.
but it was a situation like it was gonna work out. It had to, no matter what. Something was gonna happen, whether it sucked for a while or it didn't suck for a while. It was kind of the way things went. But a friend of mine, a really good friend of mine, she was just saying, she's like, you have to let yourself feel this though. She's like,
absolutely,
you can't not. She's like,
yeah,
you have to. She's like, you have to go cry. She's like,
did you go cry?
Go cry. And I didn't.
You didn't?
No, I haven't yet. I will probably, like, once I'm settled, because I got that shit stolen. Then I had to go buy a fucking new car, and my parents helped me out with finances so I could get a new car. And finding a new car took longer than it should have. And then driving out here, I was like, what the fuck am I doing? I just left a good comedy scene, my great friends, a secure job. And I drove all the way out here now to no job, a scene where people don't know me, and like all this stuff. And after losing everything, so I was just like, I can't cry right now. I'll save it. So once I'm settled in, I'll have like a good breakdown. It'll be great for me.
That's what made you decide to come back.
What
was it?
I like the scene here. Like, everyone's so fucking funny. And I was in a bit of a rut with like repetition with like jobs. Like, I worked up the ski hill, and then I worked at a zip line.
Right.
I worked at the ski hill, I worked at the zip line. Because it was seasonal work, I always just did the same thing. It was a pattern, right? It was super easy for me. And I wanted to break out of that, because I realized that if I ever wanted to be a comic, I couldn't just continue to do that. Because when I was up on the mountain, I wouldn't be able to get to every show. And if I did, I'd spend so much money in gas and time, like driving an hour and a half down a mountain road to go to Kelowna to do 5 minutes at an open mic, to drive all the way back up the mountain, to wake up at 6:30 to go and work for like 9 hours, and then like fucking bomb down the mountain in a snowstorm to go do 8 minutes for $0. So it's like, I love comedy. I'll do it for free until I can get paid to do it. And I understand that's part of the grind, but there's just some distances that you can't get away with all the time. So I decided that I needed to change it up. And Kelowna, I kind of not hit a ceiling there, but I was like getting to the higher end of the comics in my opinion, right? I thought I was doing more experienced. I was one of the more experienced comics in the scene. And from the math I did in my head, I could try and go to Vancouver and do shows all the time, but that's like 4 hours on literally like the highway through hell.
Holy shit.
The Coca-Cola. They have a TV show about how shitty it is.
Oh, God.
So it's like, I'm not going to drive there for shows.
Right.
And then I was like, I don't want to go to Toronto, because I hate Toronto as a city. I don't like the vibes. I don't like the space. I don't want to live there. And I don't want to drive into there, because I hate driving downtown, because I'm just an old man.
That would be a nightmare. And
so I was like, why not go to Halifax? I know some people. The scene was strong. There's Yucks there, so there's a club. Moncton club there. It's tight enough. So I was like, why not? Why not try it out? There's literally...
It's affordable-ish.
It's affordable-ish for sure.
Which is better than not affordable, which is Toronto.
Mm-hmm, for sure. And then it's just like, it'll force me to get into the sense that, like, if this is what I want to do, then I have to, like, buck up and do it.
And you have friends here, and people do know you.
People are starting to get to know me.
I think you got to give yourself more cred on that.
No, I can't yet. I'll wait.
But there's lots of things to do here.
Yeah,
it's a small city, but there's stuff going on. There's stuff a brewing.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm going to try and make some stuff happen, too, while I'm out here.
I heard about this, yeah.
So hopefully make some shows happen. I would love to start a Thursday room. So if you own a bar in Halifax and you want to start a Thursday room, contact Matt Baker, comedian Matt Baker, and let me know, because I'd love to start a room. And we can talk business, because Halifax needs a Thursday room so our comics can get better and continue to write more stuff and provide amazing local comedy for the beautiful HRM.
I thought you were gonna say me.
And you're part of it. You're part of it. We can't all just perform for you. Then you'll get sick of our jokes all the time.
I mean, a lot of them do anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
sometimes. There's some nights where I'm like, I feel like I'm the one making the show happen.
Hey, that's good though. You have to tell jokes no matter what. You need to.
I would love to get into, like, I've been also in a rut with work stuff.
Yep.
And thinking about my life and like what the fuck I want to do to make money, because there's things you can do that you enjoy that don't necessarily mean that's your livelihood or that's how you're making money. And we were talking about money earlier and about how it does make the world go round. And I do have really expensive dreams in my future, and I got to buckle down and make money. And I really want to get into like comedy promotion. Like I want to help with
booking shows,
promo.
stuff like that.
So maybe we
should chat.
An opportunity.
Yeah.
Potentially. Because it's one of those things that I'm still constantly learning about the business side.
Well, you have the personality. First of all, you should be a comic, to be honest. You write funny stuff. So you should at least try. And
you tell me that all the time.
But if you fail, like there's like what's the worst that's going to happen? Like you're just like, oh, I guess I should not do a comedy, and that's it. Like that's
it's true. It's not this big thing.
Like it's when you're 5 years in the comedy, 7 years in the comedy, 10 years in the comedy, and then you have like a month of eating shit. Then you're like, fuck, did I just waste 10 years of my life?
Yeah.
But if you are a month into comedy and you're like, okay, I guess I shouldn't do this, then you're like, okay, perfect. I know now.
Yep. Andrew Vaughn made a really good point to me.
Super funny dude. So funny. I saw he was at Snigley's the other night and he had a fucking amazing set. And his cadence, as soon as he gets on the stage, people just like look at him and he just fucking nods his head kind of thing and then just like, yeah, I'm listening.
Hear that, Andrew? You hear that, buddy? Andrew just is my most recent episode.
Yeah, I haven't listened. It's on the list.
You need to check it out because it's very brutally honest about the challenges of comedy, especially at his level, which is 10 years.
Yeah.
He's been doing this for a decade. So he has a lot of insight, and not all of it is good.
Nope.
But a lot of it is real, and it's things people need to hear.
For sure.
He made a point to me about me doing that, being like, just don't do what a lot of people do, which is I'm going through some life stuff and I need therapy, so I'm going to get on stage and yell about it.
Yeah.
And it's a very good point because there are things in my life that I'm still processing that I want to turn into jokes eventually. Yeah. But I'm not. It's just not the right time for me right now.
Yeah.
But mind you, it's always on the. You know, it's in the possibility world.
When my girlfriend and I, when we broke up, this is when I was dating a comic. When we broke up, we both ended up going to Mike's and like telling jokes about the breakup.
Oh my god!
And
on the same night?
I think so. Maybe at some point. I just remember we were both in the same room and we were talking about it, and both of us, we could tell that we weren't over it.
Oh, of course.
Because the jokes didn't land, and you could tell that like neither of us were like. So it's true. Like if you think you're gonna go up there and work through it, you're not. Like people are gonna be able to tell that it's super, super fresh.
Like I would rather it be smart, and come from a place that they go, ooh, that's kind of dark and emotional, but that's funny.
You can tell they've accepted it.
That I've accepted it.
Like
exactly. Like there's one thing that I'm working on, and maybe I'll run this by you. We're about almost an hour in, so screw it. And if you steal this, go fuck yourself.
Are you talking to me directly? Or are you just,
I don't think you can steal it.
Are you just fucking calling me a fucking hack or some shit?
You could
if
actually.
You steal this, go fuck yourself.
Men or women could steal this bit. But I have a lot of stuff
Hold
around.
On, just wait. Let me get my pen ready. Just so that way I can steal it.
I have a lot of stuff around being the other woman.
I'll timestamp it as be like, when did you say? Oh, no, I wrote that joke on January 3rd. Interesting.
Well, the thing about this is it'll be recorded, so
nice.
So if someone does steal it, I can go, look, I mentioned it on this podcast.
Yeah, you gotta tweet it. Tweeting's the easiest record.
Oh, that's true. That's
easiest record to be like, no, I wrote that a fucking year ago.
Because it's such an because you guys were talking about it on Kyle and Brandon's podcast about doing a joke and then realizing someone else has it, and like how tricky that is. But one of the, like I have a lot of joke premises that are around being the other woman.
Okay.
Which is kind of a iffy subject matter.
Yeah, depending on how you present it.
But my thing was that I realized that I was more insecure when I was fucking someone who was single than I was fucking someone who had a girlfriend. And the joke is like, the upside of being the other woman is that you always know who they're fucking.
Yeah. See, for my mentality, I'd be in the same situation as you, because I'd be like, they're messing around with this person, and I'd be like, they're not gonna love me. I don't have to worry about them falling for me or me falling for them because this is just for fun. Whereas when you're single, like, I guess I'm in love now, and this is forever.
And who knows what's going on their end?
Yeah.
Like my whole point is like if I was the other woman with somebody and then they became single, that's when things go to shit because they're on Tinder.
Yeah.
They're looking at other people.
Yeah.
Whereas when they're with someone, even though it's sketchy, you shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
No one should be doing that. I do not condone being the other woman. It's hell. But it's just the idea of like, well, I know that I'm probably the only other one.
Yeah. Like if this dude's
probably the only other one.
If this dude's got 3 side chicks, then he's the asshole. For sure.
Yeah, that's the worst when you get jealous.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're getting jealous of the wife, that's when you gotta be like, I gotta rein back a bit, maybe.
Yeah, I gotta rein this back.
Yeah.
But like that's something that I'm like, that's a piece of material that I'm still dealing with, and like I wanna present that when it's fully.
Yeah. When
I don't have the negative energy.
You've run it, you've done it, you've written it down, you've broken it down into everything, and then you're like, okay, so this is how I'm gonna get at it. Because then you have to build your character and their character, and then you have to make it relatable to an audience so they realize all aspects of it, right? Because for myself, I've never we're getting weird. I love this. I've always been in a relationship my whole entire life. So I've never had one night stand or anything like that. So for me, like that kind of stuff, you don't relate to. Right. But there's definitely ways that I could relate to it in the fact that like you're like, okay, well, it's easier when they're in a relationship because then I know I can't get connected, right? Or if they are single, then I'm like way more worried because I was like, am I presenting myself in this and that and that? I'm worried about not being liked, but like being liked too much, or maybe they don't want this, or maybe they want this and I don't want this. Yeah. Whereas if you're just with someone who's married, you're like, I'm in control. I can leave whenever the fuck I want.
You do have the control because I've also made jokes too about like, I could ruin your life with screenshots. I literally could ruin your entire life.
It's that Kanye West song. No one man should have all that power.
Exactly. But that power goes to your head sometimes, and you don't want to be the other woman who's like blackmailing the dude.
Yeah.
Because that gets tricky too. I've been through all of this. I could write a book.
At the end of the day, you have to realize that people are people and they want certain things. And it's not necessarily bad because we all have desires. We all want things. Like we were talking about, you don't want to be lonely. It's nice to be cuddled. It's nice to have physical connections there. So it's like if someone's seeking certain things out, it's because they're lacking certain things.
Absolutely.
Right? So.
And that's another like kind of hard reality, like because I have like stuff with being the other woman, but also like I've been cheated on, so I have both perspectives of like me realizing like
you're the person you hate, but you're also like you're both scripts. But that's good though. It's good to be both people.
It's interesting. That's what I'll say.
Because then you have like when you have the vision from both sides. Yeah, it's totally different.
Right? It's tricky though bringing stuff like that to stage though, because I and that's the main reason, other than just general nerves, but the main reason that I don't think I'm ready is I do think too much of my stuff is focused in just like really specific like sex and relationships areas, where I'm like I want to like do like maybe get some other things.
Definitely get some other things,
first.
I would say, because I mean, this coming from a guy who, like I said, that stuff to me isn't relatable, and I always feel weird talking about it, just because that's how I've been for my whole life. I don't talk about sex a lot in jokes or anything like that. I rarely talk about that stuff because to me it's weird. Yeah, but I have so much respect for comics who can sandwich it. You know what I mean? They start off, they build themselves as a character, they warm up the crowd, and then they go into the story that you're like, holy shit, like I've never experienced that, but the way you've told that story, I was holding your hand the whole way through it. It was funny. Right. It was a roller coaster of emotion. And even though I maybe don't agree with what you did, I totally understand it. And I also think it's funny.
Exactly.
And that's what you want.
That's what you want. Yeah, in the end.
Yeah, you got to be funny. You have to be funny.
Find the funny.
Okay,
is what Andrew
sorry. What was the punchline you said that was? Just write it down. Anyways, guys, you can see me running that bit this Wednesday. Yucks.
Funny to hear you say it, of all people.
Yeah, especially if I just said it exactly how you said it. Like, I've been the side women.
The upside of being the other woman.
Sometimes when you're fucking guys and you know they have girlfriends, you feel bad.
So only relationships for your whole life?
Yeah, for my whole life, pretty much.
Like, have you ever been single? For
like shorter periods of time.
Short
periods of time.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's like good, but it's weird because now I'm like, approaching 30, and I'm just like here, and I don't want a relationship because
You'll probably get one right away then.
Yeah, because I don't want one. It's true though. I'll get into one, but the thing is, and I'll stay in it because I'll just be like, oh yeah, this is what I should be doing. This is how I feel normal.
It's your comfort
It's
zone.
not good. It's not good.
I would actually like highly encourage you to stay single for a bit.
Yeah, I want to stay single because I just need to get in the mentality of like, it's fine to be alone and you don't need to talk to someone all the time and you don't need a relationship.
It's not a need, it's a bonus.
Yeah, it's a bonus for sure. Because if you become reliant on it, then it's not good.
It's not good.
So it's been, I mean, we were talking about depression and like loneliness and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And when I moved out here, I definitely got overwhelmed with that shit because I was like, just moved here, don't know too many people, don't like. It's weird to be like, oh, I want to move here and be a comic. And I'm lucky. I fucking thank my parents and my family. They've been amazing. And they've just been like, you're going to do it? Do it. Then
right.
my dad's always been like, you should probably like maybe work construction a bit just so.
A little more practical. Yeah,
you have some skills. That way when you're not funny anymore, you can still, you know.
But you still have tons of skills because you've done a variety of jobs.
Yeah. I've customer service stuff out the wazoo. So I'm fine with that. But, it was like a weird space. And then I just started working with my friend Emmett at the gym. He owns a gym. And honestly, I started working out for the first time in my life. Life. He made me.
Because I saw your gym stories and I think I just always assumed that you were a gym dude.
No, never. So
really?
Like, I've only been doing the gym for like 2.5, 3 weeks.
How's it been going?
And it's funny. I was just talking to my buddy. He just messaged me. He said, I saw you're hitting the gym. I'm thinking about doing the same thing. What do you think? And we were talking about depression. It has been hands down the best thing for my head so far.
That's what everyone says.
I've found I'm writing 3 to 4 jokes a day. They're not great, but a premise. My mind feels good. My mind feels way sharper, and I don't feel cloudy. I get up. I know that I got a Fitbit. I got to get 15,000 steps, or else, there's a lady that works. She's like in her 50s and she's a teacher and she's getting 15,000 steps. So I was like, I gotta beat that fucking old lady.
Right, get competitive with it.
So it makes you feel accomplished, and then you're like, okay, cool. And then I'll eat whatever the fuck I want. I'll have pizza when I want pizza. I'll have ice cream when I want ice cream, because I'm not the kind of person that's like, oh, I probably shouldn't have that. It's like, no, you shouldn't have that, but then at the same time, just pay it off, right?
Balance it.
Make it happen, because if you don't balance it, then there's no idea of like reward, right?
And balance it in a healthy way. And
for sure.
I'm talking to you, Sarah, listening to this editing right now.
Do it, Sarah. God damn it.
I'm talking to myself. That doesn't mean I'm going to eat like shit for one meal and not eat for the rest of the day.
No.
That's not what balance is.
No, eat like shit, and then like me and my buddy Emmett were just mucking clementines all day.
Oh, I love clementines.
Clementine's great, and it's like
they're so good.
They're sweet. They're tasty. They're not bad for you. They may not be they're
not the best fruit.
You're probably not fucking eating kale or asparagus or whatever it is, but it's better than like I'd have a handful of Skittles or something usually, right?
Ooh,
so it's like finding a good mix between the two of them is important.
So important. And also too, like the thing is with exercise, I think people get intimidated by it.
For sure.
Because they get scared to commit, but it's like, I know for me, I'm probably more likely to want to work out than to cook a really healthy meal.
Yeah. And the same thing. Like I like the ease of just getting food. Like, and we don't cook a lot. Like him and I will go to like Subway or Pita Pit or like Burrito Jack's, where you can get like some healthier options.
And get some lettuce in there.
Get some fucking kale, get some spinach, get some fucking tomatoes and onions and stuff like that, where it's just like, I probably wouldn't eat this stuff if I was at home, because I'd just be eating chicken fingers and fries or something like that. Something that's easy that I know I can leave it in the oven for a half hour, come back, grab it, and continue watching The Witcher. You know what I mean? Like, it's true though. It's true.
No, but 100%. And I'm just like, I just love comfort food, probably too much. And I know that my thing is that I need to learn to like healthier food. It's not so much like forcing myself to eat it, but like learning to actually like it so that I kind of crave it. Like there's things you can do like that, like figure out recipes with kale in it that make it yummy. I don't know how that can be. I mean, I put it in smoothies sometimes, but
cauliflower style chicken wings or whatever.
Ooh, that'd be good.
Yeah, so it's like I had it somewhere. I had this in Penticton at a guy. What's the name of the guys? No, I can't remember it.
I do love cauliflower.
But it's like the cauliflower style, buffalo style chicken wing, but like it was cauliflower, and it was so Brodos and Penticton, so
Brodos.
good. And but it was amazing, and I was just like, tastes like a chicken. It's almost like eating a chicken wing, but it's cauliflower, and you can just eat them, and you're like, I'm not eating animals. It's not a lot of shitty food. It's like broccoli or cauliflower, and I usually don't like cauliflower, but I can eat cauliflower
but it's
like
with
this.
the sauce and
yeah,
stuff.
so it's
tasty.
like it's like tricking your mind to be like, yeah, you can eat this.
You can eat that.
So that's what I found is the big thing is just finding stuff that you're like, okay, what is going to be similar to this? It's like just a little less bad for me.
So true. Ugh.
But yeah, going to the gym made a huge difference, and I'm not like one of those people that like, everyone should work out. Do your own fucking thing.
Do you believe in New Year's resolutions?
No, I don't give a shit.
No. Do you ever set personal goals for yourself? Because I can see you're probably somebody who sets comedy goals, eh? Sort of?
Kind of.
We kind of talked about that in the last
episode. Yeah, we
episode.
talked about it a bit. I kind of set comedy goals, but honestly, comedy is such a weird thing.
It's ever changing.
It's always changing. Like you never know, and you can have a goal, and then someone's gonna be like, "Oh, come open for me," and you'll do a weekend, and then you'll get like more work because of that, or so you'll do a show, and it'll be an off night, and you'll bomb in front of someone that would have wanted you to do a show, and then like, I don't like that person. So who knows? There's too much fluctuation. Any comedy goals I set is just writing wise and how much material I want to get to, and then eventually, like having a late night set would be great. The biggest thing that I'm focusing on right now is in April or May, I want to do an album.
Oh, yes, you should.
Yeah. So it would be good. I'd do it up at Hell's Basement.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So
Hell
it'd be
yeah.
super cool.
That's
like the only goal I have on the rocks.
And you know what? That's doable.
Yeah.
The thing about goals is, I heard someone say, like, the more vague a goal, the less likely it'll happen.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when people set really vague goals of, like, I'm going to learn to be more positive this year.
Yeah.
It's like, where's the specificity in that? There's nothing. Like, I want to organize my kitchen. Like, that's a specific goal. It's doable. And it's, you either did it or you didn't.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I was talking to my buddy who owns the gym, and we're just talking about like weight loss and goals, and especially New Year's resolutions, right?
Yes.
Gyms are busy places around the new year. And people come in with the intention like, I want to lose weight. You're like, no, it's not going to work like that. Tell me you want to lose 10 pounds, and that's something we can do.
Yeah,
right?
and what areas of your body?
Exactly.
What
you
areas
can't
are you
target
focusing on?
it. You can't target that.
You can't?
No.
Because
just
you really don't know.
You just burn fat. That's it.
Because if you burn fat, you really don't know where it'll come from. I just pray it's not from my boobs.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
my only thing.
But if I do like a bunch of crunches, if I'm doing like just crunches, I'm not going to have abs and like big fat thighs. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the fat's gonna burn from your body. Like,
and it'll disperse.
There's nothing specific that I can do. If I do like a bunch of bicep curls, it's not gonna like make my arms smaller. If I do this, if I walk on the treadmill every day, it's not gonna just give me smaller thighs and like a muffin top. It's gonna like you just burn fat by doing shit. That's it. You can't target stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's
Which is interesting because when I was talking to my buddy, I was like, he made me take like a before photo. Right? He's like, you gotta take a before photo. I was like, I don't want to fucking take a before photo. Like, as much as like everyone's like, oh, guys like their body, like girls have negative things, but guys not as much. Like, I fucking hate how I look all the time.
Really?
Yeah, but like everyone does for the most part.
Everyone does, and
I
think the reason I go really is because I do think that there's this weird like thing where it does feel like more of a female issue.
Yeah.
But men experience it too.
Oh,
You're right.
for sure.
Everybody does.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think it's even more when you're single and you're like, am I even a fucking,
Yep.
am I attractive?
Yeah.
And then you have to be like, maybe I'm not. And what can
it's
I
a
do
constant
to this?
spiral.
So as soon as we took a before photo, I was like, oh shit. Like, I don't look gross, but I think I could look better. And then he's just like, okay, this. And I was like, all right, well, I just got like a little bit of belly fat. And he's like, all right, well, this is what we're going to do. I was like, can I just do crunches? He's like, no, you have to do everything. And then everything's going to tighten up.
Right.
But if you just do one thing, you can't target one space. Like, you just have to do shit and then eventually just burn off.
I really wish I could afford a personal trainer.
Genetics wise, females are meant to carry more weight below, like around the hips and below it for childbirth, all that stuff. And then men are meant to carry more weight in their upper body.
Interesting.
So that's why you'll see like heavier girls who have like a pear shape and heavier guys who have like an apple shape almost.
Interesting.
So It's just the way it is.
I'd never really. Now I'm going to use that as an excuse as to why I'm a little chubbier in that era. I'd be like, I'm just getting ready for babies.
Babies. At some point, I'm gonna have one. But it's like I've always hated like fitness and like fucking working out and all this shit. But honestly, it's made a bit of a difference in my own head, and it's given me something to write about, which has been great. I've as a comic, I'm always trying to do new shit, so then that way I have something different to write about. Like making a Tinder account is like, I'm not looking for a girlfriend, but I'm looking to write about something, and that's
Absolutely.
like, I just have a new bit that I wrote because of Tinder, and it does great, and I love it, and I'm happy now because it's
And
like
now you can do Tinder
experience.
tales.
Yeah, well, sure, if they'll have me.
Absolutely.
I'll have to talk
You'd
to
actually be perfect for it, because one thing that I don't like about Tinder tales is like, I see a lot of people in relationships up there, and I'm like, no, I want to hear.
What are you doing?
I want to hear from the sad single people who are in the trenches right now doing it.
Exactly.
No offense to anyone who's in a relationship.
Yeah,
who's done
if you were
Tinder
on
tales.
Tinder Tales and you were in a relationship, you're a fucking hack.
I just relate more.
I'm trying to make friends in the Halifax comedy scene, but if you were on Tinder Tales and you have a girlfriend, you're gone.
Are you still on Tinder?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, have you tried?
I have it, but I'm not like on it.
Have you tried any other ones?
My buddy Brian Otter from Moncton, he told me to get Hinge. And
Hinge
he
is
said,
really good.
He says it's great. He says especially for comics because you can write funny stuff on people's photos and stuff like that. But I've always had a difficult time interacting with women in general. So for me to like write on some, yeah.
Again, there's the really again.
but as a comic, but that's the thing, right? As a comic, everyone's like, oh, you're confident, right?
It's almost an assumption.
It's all situationally based, right? Like,
but think about it this way: like you've obviously know how to interact with women because you've been in so many relationships.
Yeah.
Me, I'm like I'm 8 years single.
Yeah.
I'm doing something wrong. Like this is the thing, because as soon as I say that, people go, "Oh no, you're great. It's just timing."
Dude, it's Instagram culture though too.
That's true.
In the sense of like people are like, okay, what's the next thing? What's the next thing?
Well, that's
what's the next thing?
What's really sucky about the dating landscape right now.
Yeah, like when I was on Tinder and I was just looking at things because I'm not, like I said, not looking for anything. I don't care. I'm just on there. I'm writing jokes, which is hilarious, and it's just fun to read things because this is for my whole entire life I've never interacted like this, so it's interesting.
It's a new experience.
It's a very new experience. But I've I've seen so many people that are like poly, right? They're like, in a stable relationship with my husband, just looking for someone on the side, like
looking to plow someone.
Holy shit! I was like, what the fuck? This is a thing. Like, I had no idea. Because my parents, they're still together. You know what I mean? My uncle and his wife, they're still together. Like, there's not a lot of people that I know that are separated or divorced or anything like that. So in my mind, it's always been like you're with someone forever,
right?
And that's it.
It's very straightforward, no deviations.
Exactly. So it's interesting to go on there and see people who are married but looking for someone else, or looking for a third, or in a polygamous relationship, or this, that, and you're just like, oh, like these are things that I have no idea about because I've never really looked into it or been a part of it or anything like that. But I think to be in a relationship now is a little weirder because of how I don't want to be like Instagram and social media and all this stuff, like one of those people, but we've made a bit of a society where it's just like we want constant change, we want fresh, we need to see new things, we need to be constantly
especially
stimulated.
Men. I hate making it about men, but especially men,
for sure,
because I think that women, where we have the biological clock ticking,
for sure.
So if you come across a woman who's 34, I mean, that's, if they want to have kids, they gotta get cracking on that pretty soon.
Jump on the pony.
And it's truly like it's so strange because like for so long I was like, that's not a thing with me. That's not a thing with me. That's not a thing with me. But like in little ways it comes out sometimes.
For sure.
And it's all biology. It's fucked.
No, but it's like a girl I was seeing for the longest time. We had a great relationship. She's amazing, and we like when we broke up, we had a couple things going on, and then one of the things was like she wanted kids,
right?
But initially, when we started dating, she didn't want kids.
So that's something that changed.
And then I was always like a hard no on it because I don't want kids ever.
Yet, but see, the thing is with men, you can be 40 and be like, I want kids.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And date someone slightly younger than you.
And make one if I wanted to.
Whereas we, like, if we want that.
Yeah, you guys are on a little bit more of a time. Which is true.
It's hard.
Yeah, it is hard for sure. I mean, like I said, and that's like someone said that to me. Like, you'll want kids. You just wait. We're gonna break up, and then later on I'll find out that you had kids or something like that. I'm like, no.
And it's not like when you make that decision, you'll be like, okay, I gotta call my ex now.
No. But it's like some people I think are, like born father figures,
or born really wanting to be a mother. Yeah,
exactly,
absolutely.
Right? And or they find it because of life events that are like, you know what? Yeah, this has turned me on to something that I didn't think I wanted, but now I do.
Yeah.
But for me, I've worked with kids. I've worked with people who have kids. I've worked with people who wanted to have kids and couldn't, and then were able to in similar situations. And for me, just for myself, who I am as a person, what I want for my own personal goals, it doesn't make sense. Yeah. And if I look 10 years down the road and see where I want to be, I don't see myself wanting that.
Yeah.
And as much as I'm not a guy who sets goals and thinks too far ahead, there are certain things that I know would complicate my life.
And that would be one.
And would get in the way, and that would be one. And also, the world's fucked right now.
The world is... Australia is literally on fire.
Yeah, I have a new joke that I'm trying tonight that's going to be about that.
Ooh,
so
really?
It'll be good. Are you coming to Snigley's?
I will come, yes.
Yeah, tag along.
As long as I can get home. As long as the weather's not
well, I'll
too
give you a ride there for sure.
Absolutely.
Probably can't drop you off because I'm going the other way.
Right.
But...
I might be able to snag a ride from someone else.
I'm sure someone will help you out.
Or just, as long as the buses are running, I'll be fine.
You'll be
but
good.
Yeah, I have a friend in Australia, actually.
Yep.
I was like messaging with her. I was just like, this is madness.
It's crazy.
This is utter madness. That like the whole country's on fire.
We gotta smarten up as a people. If you're out there right now and you're on Tinder Tales and you're in a relationship, smarten up.
As I drink my plastic straw from my last drink.
But it's not just that though, right? People love to point out the small things and be like, you can make a difference. It's like forestry practices and stuff like that. Like, I'm a big fisher. I love fishing. Fishing's huge.
Okay. Before you go further,
go for it.
Pictures of you fishing on Tinder are okay. No holding fish.
No, it wasn't holding any
fish. Okay, good. That's my only.
Yeah, no.
I'm looking out for you.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, it is.
Vicky Welsh, local comic, pretty funny lady. She has a joke about how like the outdoorsy dudes are just holding fish, and it's just like, I don't want you to do that. Anyway, I'm not gonna step on her joke, but I was like, oh yeah.
I actually have an idea for her joke that might make that better.
You should tell her because it's a good joke. The idea is there, and anytime people can add to a joke, I think, fuck it.
Say it.
Do it. Say it. Make everyone else funny, and then you will have to be funnier to survive.
Teach it. It's like, okay, fishing, comedy.
Yep.
Teach a man to fish. What's that?
Catch a man to fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish, and he'll eat for a lifetime.
So we can apply that to comedy.
Yep.
It's the same thing.
For sure. But going back to like Australia on Fire and stuff quick. I'm a big fishing guy. Love fishing, read about fishing. It's not, I wouldn't say it saved my life because I wasn't in a spot, but it's definitely given me a different mentality of like how to do things and how to enjoy the small things. And like I went fishing for steelhead, which is like a fish that's notorious for being difficult to catch. And I spent like 4 days on a river, 10-hour days, didn't catch one single thing.
Steelhead?
Steelhead,
That's a badass name for a fish.
It's cool. But 4 days, 10 hours each pretty much, in the rain, cold, fishing, didn't catch a goddamn thing. Best time. Loved it.
Really?
Loved it. But it goes to show you that it's just like, I got in the mentality of like, I'm just here, I'm present, I'm enjoying it, right?
You're in the moment.
So, but to go back to like, fishing, I'm going everywhere now.
Yeah.
But Australia's on fire. People love to talk about small shit like straws and stuff like that. But if you understand how salmon worked, then you'd be like, oh shit, we need to stop doing this because salmon go up river to spawn, and when they die, their nutrients get washed up on the banks and then grow big trees.
Oh, really?
So they've traced and because the bears feed on salmon, they've traced the bears dragging salmon carcasses upwards the banks, and those salmon carcasses dying, and those nutrients going into the trees.
Whoa!
And those trees grow tall, create shade over the river, keep the river cool, so the salmon can get through and continue to spawn there. So that whole
it's the
salmon,
it's
circle of life. Salmon and trees are like a huge thing, and people don't know about it because they're like, that's just like a thing, right? So then when you go to the grocery store and you buy like a hatchery salmon, those hatchery salmon are actually super bad because they're dumbed down, they don't have proper genes, and then when they go out into the river systems, they mate with the wild salmon, and they make them dumber, and then it's just like this whole pattern. So
Oh, holy shit.
there's so many bigger things going
Whoa.
on. So people are always like, oh yeah, don't use straws. Like, fuck, go ahead, use straws, but just be smarter about like just grand scheme of things and just become fucking
Just becoming aware. I think is the main thing.
Aware
and also
and
like, I mean, I know money is like comes back to money a lot, but like,
oh yeah, for sure,
donating when you can and what you can.
For sure.
If you have $5 to throw to the, the fires in Australia, that's still $5.
Why not? You should.
It all adds
That's
up.
why we should actually definitely talk, because we should do a comedy fundraiser for cats.
We should.
Because we used to do them in Kelowna all the time. So like people, we always raise a tremendous amount of money because we'd find a local sponsor.
Yeah.
They'd say, okay, and they'd pay for the show. So then anyone who's on the show, comics, will get a couple bucks, because it is an industry, we discussed this earlier, where people need to get paid for what they're doing.
Absolutely.
Sometimes we can donate our time. Sometimes, for sure. I 100% agree.
Yeah.
There's an aspect where it's nice to donate your time and feel like you're doing something. But at the same time, it is still your work.
It is still your work.
Job, right?
Yes.
So if I only do charity shows for free, then I'm only going to do charity shows and not make money, and then I'll have to stop doing comedy because I won't be making enough money to do comedy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that healthy balance. But we used to do shows where you'd find a sponsor, you get a little money from the sponsor, and then you could pay your comics a couple bucks, and then you could get good quality comics.
Yeah.
Jack up the price to $25 a ticket and say, we're donating the whole fucking door to the SPCA.
Let's fucking,
And
yes.
people love it. And that's a great way, because everyone wants to donate. I love to donate. I love to help people out. And I think random acts of kindness, those are great things, all that stuff. But we're in a society now where, people who are, you and I, we're tight financially. I'm not in a spot where I can just give $5 away. But if someone said, come enjoy some comedy for $25, you're going to get an experience, you're going to get a night out, and then also you're going to get to know that $25 went to the SPCA. You can be like, fuck yeah, dude.
It's like a double win.
Yeah, I'm not giving away money, I'm buying something.
Yeah, 100%.
That's all you need to do.
100%.
So if you're out there and you're on Tinder Tales and you were in a relationship, you have to do this show for free, you terrible hat. Now, it's my only
Oh my
go-to
God.
thing.
Speaking of, before we close out the episode,
Yeah.
we'll have to take off really soon, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
So you're on Tinder. You've been on it.
Yep.
Do you want to see it from the girl's
I'd love
point
to.
of view?
I would fucking love to.
So I want you to do a couple things, because because how long have you been a single man?
Just over a month.
Holy shit, fresh.
Yeah,
fresh
pretty
AF.
fresh.
So I'm gonna get you to look at my profile.
Yep.
And tell me what you think.
Yep.
But then I'll get you to swipe, and I'll get you to see what we're seeing
Yeah. Sweet.
all the time. So I don't know.
Okay. Host producer of the Intoxicated Podcast. It's great. It's a drunk comedy podcast. It's good. I like it because it says who you are, what you're into. Host, meaning that you like to talk, which is great. It makes it easier. PR geek, event planner, TV addict, music pop culture lover, adventure seeker on a budget, popcorn connoisseur, open book, very little filter. We'll secretly want to know your birth time and location for no reason at all. Bonus points
It's
if you
an
resist.
astrology joke.
That's funny. See, that goes over my head. My initial thought process from coming from someone who has had Tinder for a week and uses it never, and has only used it to see that people only like you if you have humor, and they don't give a shit if you're just a person who likes fish, I guess. I would get rid of some of this stuff.
Yeah, you think?
Because then people have stuff they ask you, right?
That's true.
So much,
I am giving a lot of it
so
away.
much nicer to just be able to be like, hey, what are you into?
What are you
You'd
into?
be like, actually, I do a podcast.
Exactly.
All right. Benny.
We're
He's got a
swiping.
dog photo. Ooh, Benny wears plaid. He's got a dude, I'm in the same sense.
Oh, a baby. Okay, so here we go. Here we go with the babies.
So baby and dogs.
There's
babies
3
and dogs.
things that a guy can hold in a Tinder photo that will make me not swipe on him: a fish, a baby, and a gun.
Really?
Yeah.
Mine
It's
would
those
be a baby, a baby,
2 babies.
and an acoustic guitar.
Oh, that's bad too.
Yeah.
Also, what was the other thing? Any type of animal that's clearly at a zoo that isn't yours.
A caged animal.
Yeah, that's not cool.
an animal that's being forced to perform for you.
Yeah, that's a big no-no.
Okay,
No
Benny.
swimming with dogs.
You know what? This is what I don't like. No matter who you are, I like it if you just have one sentence.
Yeah, and a lot of men don't write bios.
They don't. And I think if you're Like, just make it easy, man. Like, especially because I think people expect men to message first, right?
I think generally that's what we want.
Yeah. So
but then
if you have a
pissed if it's
bio,
not a good
I know
message.
exactly. Well, that's like fuck, Jesus Christ.
It's a very complicated road.
It's insane.
I don't mind messaging first.
My friend took over my phone. He just started swiping, and I was just like, "What the fuck are you doing?" He's
That's
like, I
what
don't know,
every
just-
man does, and
they
I'm
do it.
against it. I'm against it.
I don't like it. And
Be more selective.
And so he matched me with some girl, and she's like, "Don't get me started. If you something about Pepsi or some shit." She's like, "If you don't if you drink Coke, we can't get along," or whatever like that, or Pepsi or something like that. I was like, "Oh, like what's your deal with that?" She's like, "I just don't like it." I was like, "Oh, so you don't drink soda at all?" She's like, "I drink Diet Coke." I was like, "What? Like, I'm just trying to start like a conversation based off what you're saying, and you're like,
"Fuck
like your pop. I only drink diet soda," and you're just like, "Okay."
I actually, and that's one thing I will say too about making a bio. If you're going to do something quippy like that, be prepared to
answer for it.
Be prepared to answer for it because guys will. Like I have on,
it's a great conversation
I used to have on
starter.
there a picture of me as Wonder Woman,
Yeah.
and I had on there being like, or no, it was a hot dog picture.
Yeah.
Me as a hot dog, and it's like, I bet you can't resist commenting with a joke or something like that. Pretty much saying because every single guy would message me with a hot dog costume and want to include it because it was funny thing about me, but it was like constant, and so I took it off. Yeah, because I just couldn't deal with it anymore.
Okay, what do you think about Benny? Are we getting rid of him? Or do you like him?
Oh, let's see.
You do like him, don't you?
And we don't know if the kid is his.
No, the kid's definitely not his. He's got a dog that would eat that child.
He is attractive.
Liked him.
And that's the thing too. If you're really attractive, I'll maybe give you a slide.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Why not? Especially if you're just attractive in general. It's fun just to print. Oh,
a guitar! We got a guitar!
We got a guitar. Bass guitar.
Oh, I just thought of an amazing game. Tinder bingo.
Tinder bingo.
You like drink every time
That's true.
Trophy thing comes
That'd
up.
be pretty funny. Adam. Ooh. Likes Maroon 5 though. That's
again, no bio.
No bio, but does say that he likes
snowboarder.
He's only I always find this app is so creepy because like Adam's a kilometer away.
That's really close.
It's insanely close. And then tonight when you're going to sleep and you hear "There Will Be Love" blaring from someone's apartment, you're like, Adam, baby, Adam, it's me.
It's scary.
People can't see what Adam looks like, but he seems like a genuine nice dude.
You're actually not getting too many bad.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that he might smoke cigarettes.
Okay. How do you know?
Just because.
You just get a vibe?
I feel like if he's a musician, he's probably stressed sometimes. Might play a lot of gigs. Smoking cigarettes, pretty common with that culture. Even if he doesn't smoke cigarettes rarely, he might be one of those dudes that smokes cigarettes when he's drinking. Yeah. Could be wrong though. I assume things all the time about people, and then I get angry when people do it to me. So.
Ooh, what? Ooh, you assume things a lot?
Well, I just like judge people off of what they look like.
Oh, okay.
That's human. That's like fucking.
Yeah,
you have to.
It's
like, oh, I'm not going to judge that rattlesnake just because he looks like he could fucking kill me. It's like, no, you have to.
You have to do that to survive.
You have to.
This is a no because there's too many sunglasses.
Too many sunglasses. Snake bites and a mustache. That's a hard no. Anyone want to come pick me up and get really high and maybe give me a BJ or do anal? Chris, 35.
Oh my God! What? You actually said that.
Yeah,
this gets.
See, if you're gonna write a bio, that's the way to do it.
This gets a screenshot because there's a live show coming up that I.
Well, you're welcome for finding that. Isn't this crazy? Because then you go like, oh, he's also only a kilometer away.
And also, if you're gonna be that upfront.
You have
maybe
to be
use a picture that isn't a generic picture that's
show
like
your face.
Not even doesn't
if it's
even show
you in a sand dune somewhere, then
and that's what it is. Looks like they have snowboards.
Yeah, they're sandboarding somewhere.
Sandboarding.
Tom, nope.
It's a beach.
Show some. Caleb.
Cats. I do like cats.
Love cats. I love cats. See, the only downside is only one photo is not a selfie, and I'm of the impression that if like you get like. If you're going to only have one photo, make sure it's not a selfie. And if you're going to have multiple photos, it's good to have photos just doing shit.
So here's my thing.
Yeah, go for it. Shoot. I'm going to keep swiping.
You're lucky where you're a comedian. So you probably you got some headshots. You got some stage photos.
Yeah, but even like stage photos and headshots, like I won't use my headshots because I don't I like them, but they're not for me. And I would never put them on Tinder because I paid for those photos and it's not like natural to me. And then
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. See, because I have a friend in the city who's a Halifax matchmaker, and
Yep.
she actually highly encourages people booking
Getting
photo
headshots.
shoots.
For sure, I can imagine.
And like that one of you in the library,
Yeah.
like I don't
Like
think
this
that.
This guy's in the library right now.
Oh God.
David's got a scarf. What the fuck? Which one's David?
Welcome to Girl Tinder.
Dude, he's gonna fucking high five that old lady.
Oh.
Great job, Ophelia. See you at church next Sunday. Nat.
Ooh, we got a super like.
Do ya?
The guys who super like me are always very. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. They're
Or you're just trying to-
they're always a certain type of male, and they're always older.
Corey's only 37.
That is a lie. You do not look only 37.
He's got a ring around his neck.
Would you agree?
He doesn't look 37, but I mean, if I went all the way to Mortar and kept the ring, I probably wouldn't look too good either. Shane, bold move eating chicken wings at the gate.
Oh, chicken wing photo right at the gate. We got a outdoorsy picture. Ooh, I kind of like Shane.
Dude, Shane's in the Okanagan. I bet money on it.
Oh, I'm into this. He will never match with me though.
Andrew.
He looks too clean.
Andrew, need a hiking, kayaking, fishing, and everything else in between kind of friend. Like cook, clean, and do everything in between.
Jesus.
Winky emoji.
Oh God.
What is everything? And you only have one photo, and it's you, a lady, and then another person who could be you. So, and there's a sailboat in the background. I have a feeling that Andrew's a sailboat.
It's also fun if you wanted to match with him to see if he'd message right away. That's always a fun game I play.
Do you want to do that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's see what he says.
Because then we can fuck with them.
It's a match.
So let's see if he.
We'll see if Mayor.
See if he writes.
Put your hands in the mayor. It's not bad, dude.
There's not much to say.
Can dress up. Straight man, 3 kilometers
bio?
away. No bio. If you don't have a bio, like if you don't have the effort to just write a sentence, or even like, dude, you Google a shitty joke and put it in there. Just something that's going to make me be like, oh.
Effort
that's
matches
you.
effort.
Dude, for sure. David just moved back from Vancouver and Fort Mac. Ooh, Fort Mac's a bad spot. He's probably addicted to drugs.
Uh-oh.
I'm just profiling
Oil
people
money.
now.
That oil money.
Yeah. Excited to see what's new around Halifax. Well, guess what, David? Nothing. Halifax has been the same.
For a long time.
Oh, it lifts weights. That's good. Lifts weights again. See, I would never post a photo of me working out because in the last 2 weeks of working out, I found that no one looks good working out. No one ever. And then also I've seen myself working out because there's mirrors everywhere so you can look at your form.
Yeah.
And it's even grosser. So that's a hard no.
There should have mirrorless gyms.
Incubus. He likes Incubus. Okay, selfie.
I'm not.
Jim.
He doesn't seem like my type.
Selfie.
He seems kind of bro-y.
Lots of selfies. I cook and play guitar. Oh, a multitasker.
And he has...
Sometimes simultaneously. Oh, see, he beat me to my own joke. See, that's the comedian in me. I'm always doing the math.
I don't think so.
Oh, it looks like he could.
Oh, boy.
Looks like he could be a member of the thrift store version of Dragon Force. Matt, 30, moved from Ontario to work with wildlife, but living the retail dream. Looking to meet people outside of work. Polly.
Oh, great.
He's got a pet crow. He's got Harry Potter glasses. He's got one photo where he's holding a remote and a photo that's a little further back from holding the remote.
Are poly people always not that attractive?
I don't know.
Have you ever seen a hot poly person?
I don't know what I've seen. I don't know. I when I was younger, I saw Polygon once in Pokemon, but that was it.
Oh, doggo.
Dog, Thomas. I'm a dog person. So which one is he? Is he a person who turned into a dog? And therefore a dog person? That's just a photo of beer.
That doesn't count as a Tinder pic.
Also, he's leaning his head up against what looks like a decorative pillow. So
that's an ad for Bumble on Tinder.
Yeah. Ginto, one photo, hard no.
Smokestacks.
Okay, Paul. First photos with 2 girls. What do you think of that? What do you think when it's just...
I don't like it.
You don't like it when
I don't.
guys are with
well,
girls?
okay. In this case, like if it's a super...
Yeah, he's not like fucking macking on them.
If it's a super friendly photo that is like, it looks more like you were hanging out with friends.
Yeah.
and they happen to be women. But if it's just one other woman, that's a no. Paul has nothing written. I'm not. He also seems like, yeah, bro, let's crush some beers at brunch. He looks like that kind of guy.
Yeah, he kind of does.
So I'm going to say no to that. Craig is
selfies
on a beach.
Selfie on a beach, selfie on a couch. That's definitely a hotel room. That's definitely near a lighthouse.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know about this one.
His nose is up his thumb, or his thumb is up his nose, it looks like. No, that's a hard no on Craig. What?
Ooh, there's a long bio, though.
Ooh, all right, you ready for Craig?
Yeah.
Eliminate what you think about him, because here we go. Instagram is... Beep. Couldn't tell you. Sorry, she had to bleep it out. Might have better chances reaching me on there. Just want to hang out with people and see where things lead. Go for a drive? ? Yeah,
sounds creepy.
That's fucking safe.
I had a friend who went on a first date with a drive.
Yeah, well, I guess it all depends on who you are and also how much you talk prior to that.
Yeah.
6 foot tall, very adventurous, risk taker. Yeah, like picking a girl up and driving with her. Not messaging first. Show me you want to talk. Okay, nice dude. Nice, Craig. 420 friendly. Anyone who puts that, I hate them automatically.
Yeah.
Just like, why? What do you? I'm not applying for a job. I don't give a shit if you like weed or not. I don't give a fuck. Like, fuck you.
know.
Joey, that's just a picture of someone's pants.
Do you see? Are there any bad
Dude, there is.
women profiles where it's like not even a picture of a person?
Yeah. I find a lot of the poly ones are like that.
Oh, it's
where
bad.
It's just like people are like looking for the unicorn. What is it? Do you know what a unicorn is?
It's I was told that I was one recently. Because
nice. Congrats.
Future episode I will talk about this. I went to a sex party over the Christmas break. Well, I thought that it was a bi
you can
woman.
edit this out, but was it recently?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because Vaughn was talking about it.
Yeah, I know. He told me the other day, he's like, I have some jokes about and he's like, I can stop saying it if you want. And I was like, I don't give a shit.
No, he talked about it at the show on Snigley's.
Talk away.
It was good.
I thought a unicorn was a woman who wanted to hook up with a guy and a girl. Like either a bi woman or like something like that. But then like I was told the sex party that I was, because I was just a lone female at a sex party.
Okay.
So it was like
because everyone
prime
kind
real
of comes together.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Prime real estate.
That's a sex party. That's insane.
Yeah, I'm still processing everything, but I do plan on talking about it at some point.
That's good.
On the podcast.
Because I'll listen, but I'd absolutely never go to one.
Oh, we'll talk after this.
It's crazy.
It's insane. Matt, thank you so much for
What a great episode. That was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
That opened up about more stuff than I should have. Ooh.
And now you're in the pool to come back if you want to be a guest co-host with me.
I would love to.
Because that's something that I want to do is I want to be like Kelly Ripa when Regis left and like have like a different co-host.
Why not?
Every now and then. And then like you can, if there's someone that you really like in the scene, we could get them on.
For sure.
And it might be a cool dynamic. So, but I thank you so much. And where can people find you online?
Comedian Matt Baker on Instagram, comedian Matt Baker on Facebook, or just Matt Baker on Facebook. You can add me as a friend, but follow my page so then people will like me, because going back quickly, it's easier to book people. Like if I want to try and go set up a show somewhere, like I'm trying to do a show in a couple different spots, people want videos, but it'll be good to be like, if you go to my Facebook page, I have over 1,200 people that like it, right? So my reach is 1,200 people. So if you do have the time, go to my page, like it, please and thank you. That makes it easier for me to book shows and just helps 100%. Me to promote myself.
This guy knows his shit.
I'm trying.
You know your shit.
If I want to be good, I gotta be good.
You gotta know the business, and you have a good grasp.
Where can people find you?
Oh, I mean, Intoxicated Podcast on Facebook and Instagram.
And Insta.
And Sarah Mackle on Instagram.
And also on Tinder now. Find her.
Find Matt on Tinder too.
Good luck. I have his alias, secret name.
Oh, do you really? No. Oh, that would be funny.
I should.
But any shows you have coming up? So this will come out on Friday.
Oh.
Any shows? Just find him at any open mic.
Yep, I'm doing shows all the time. Just follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and you'll see what I'm doing.
Fuck yes. Thank you so much, buddy.
Thanks so much for having me. This was great.
This was so fun. You can ring the bell.
Deuces, Bruce. Catch you on the flip. Good night and Kanye West. Oh, yeah.
Good night and Kanye West. I love it.